What is up, guys? This is a driving test route walkthrough at Belvedere Driving Test Centre. If you've got your driving test here at Belvedere Driving Test Centre, then this video is for you. I'm going to show you around the area and drive you around a real driving test route and tell you what you need to be looking out for. Let's go. Firstly, if you've got your driving test here at Belvedere Driving Test Centre, you're going to park up somewhere along this road. Just pick a space and then you're going to walk into the driving test centre and wait in the waiting room for your examiner. The waiting room's not spectacular, but there is one toilet so you can go for a nervous wee before your driving test. Okay, I've got a route loaded up on the TomTom. Let's get on with it. All right, so first things first, we are on a really quiet side road, which means we're not going to have any trouble pulling out into the flow of traffic. But as soon as we get out of this little, what is it, a cul-de-sac?
Bear left, then turn left.
Great, bear left and turn left. Bear left is this one. The TomTom's giving me a slightly confusing instruction there. It's definitely a junction, even though she said bear left. Bear left means it's slightly less than 90 degrees. Or it could be a lot less than 90 degrees, but it's still a junction.
Turn left.
Turning left, mirror, signal. Nice residential road to start off on. I don't usually do driving tests at Belvedere. I hear really bad things about this driving test centre. Not to put you off if you've got your driving test here, but people say that it's really difficult to pass around here. But to me, so far, it seems pretty easy. Let's keep going.
200 yards, turn left.
I'm wondering what the speed limit is, because there wasn't one when I left the test centre. So I'm gonna say it's 30. And drive at a safe 30 miles an hour, mirror, signal.
Turn left.
Obviously 30 miles an hour being the speed limit doesn't mean that we can go 30 miles an hour absolutely everywhere. It means that you've got to pick a safe speed for each road. If I went down this road at 30 miles an hour,
turn left.
I could expect to fail my driving test. There's parked cars which are hazards, the road's really narrow. I need to pick an appropriate speed for each road regardless of the speed limit. Turning left at the end of the road. Planning this all out in advance. Mirror, signal. I'm even going to say
left.
Mirror, signal, position, speed. If you do mirror, signal, maneuver, no problem. But say everything out loud. I did a really good video that's helped a lot of people so far about driving commentary style. Watch it. It's here. Or come back to it after. Bookmark it, come back after. Okay, road marking is really helpful. One-way system. Obviously checking my mirrors as I move around. This is going to get busy. I can imagine if I was doing my test at school times.
300 yards, go right on the roundabout and take the third exit.
I'd need to be pretty cautious there. Okay, I'm looking at all of these signs, one-way road. So I'm not expecting anything to come towards me except cyclists. That's a theory test question, but you guys knew that. Because everybody remembers their theory test after they pass their theory test. Well, you remember the information anyway. Let's deal with this mini roundabout.
And take the third exit.
Mirror, signal, position, speed, and look before I get to the end. There's nothing coming, so I'm not gonna stop. If I stopped there, would have got hesitation. As always with all of these driving test route walkthroughs, let's have some fun with it. See if you can spot any mistakes that I make. This makes it fun. I will probably make mistakes because I'm driving and talking, concentrating on you guys, and really trying hard not to mess up. But if I do make any mistakes, put them in the comments and we'll debate them. We'll debate them in the comments. Okay, this sat-nav hasn't notified me about this junction. I can see it's a roundabout with wonky road signs. If I went in the left lane, that's a left turn only lane. That would be an easy way to fail my driving test by being in the wrong lane at that roundabout. And it's quite faded as well. That road marking was really faded. I'd need to be on the ball or have practiced here before I did my driving test to get that right. Obviously, I'm a driving instructor, so I got that right anyway. But if you are learning to drive and you haven't done that before, obviously I've helped you in this video, but try and take some time with your driving instructor to go around the area. Let's see if we can find any more really tricky things around Belvedere. 29 miles an hour. This seems pretty calm so far. Look at this, this is nice. Obviously there's going to be a couple of things at every test centre that could trip you up. But so far, I'm liking the vibes here. This is so relaxing. Belvedere is really nice. It's got really wide roads. and it's super residential. Maybe I'll hit a high street later. I know that there's a dual carriageway on some of the test routes. I haven't done the dual carriageway test route. I've done that before with Harry. If you haven't seen Harry's video, click that and you can watch that. It's a dual carriageway. If you're not used to driving really fast, then
after 300 yards, bear right, then take the third right.
If you're not used to driving really fast, then you're going to find that difficult. Okay, 300 yards, bear right. Sat nav, oh, no right turn. So no, I'm not going to turn there. Sat nav instructions are always in yards on your driving test. Ah, she said turn right. This isn't a right turn. Look at the road markings. See, I'm planning ahead, and I can negate the fact that the sat nav's trying to trip me up here.
Then take the third right.
Upside down, no U-turn sign. Can you guys see that? Upside down, no U-turn. I've never seen that before. Is that a special Belvedere thing, or some joker turned the sign upside down? Probably some joker turned the sign upside down. And a roundabout. Where am I going? Straight on.
After 100 yards, turn right, then turn around when possible.
What? Okay, no. That was so confusing.
Turn around when possible.
That roundabout wasn't on the sat nav. She told me to turn right instead. I made my first mistake there. If you guys caught it, comment below. Nobody's perfect. I'm trying really hard, but nobody's perfect. And with the sat nav tripping me up like this, I can imagine they'll do some bay parking in that car park right there. There's no tricks, there's no intentional tricks on the driving test. The examiner's never going to try and trip you up. The sat-nav's never going to try and trip you up. But the sat-nav system does say confusing instructions sometimes. So if you haven't already, practice with a TomTom. Not Google Maps, although practicing with Google Maps is the second best option, or Waze, but it's not the same as the TomTom system.
After 300 yards, go right on the roundabout and take the second exit.
Google Maps and Waze are really clear and really intuitive. They're really easy to follow, really easy to use. TomTom, not so much. TomTom, hit me up, get at me, I'll help you, because you're not helping with driving tests.
Go right on the roundabout and take the second exit.
We can make this system so much easier for learners to use. But while we don't have that, we've got to make do with what we got. Turning right, this one's a very sharp turn. Gonna make sure I pay close attention to what's on my right. None of them are indicating. There's no blockers, so I can't set off. He stopped, so I'm gonna go. Cheeky. Okay. Comment below. Was that a mistake? I set off on the roundabout. Lorry was coming from my left. I had to brake, not sharply, I had to brake. Would I have got a fault for that? Should I have waited behind the line? I know the answer, but do you? Okay, looks like I am going down this road. Confirmation, 30 miles an hour. Is Belvedere all 30 miles an hour? Oh, that's a dream. If you take your test and hit the green, it flip-flops from 20 to 30 all the time. You have to keep up. If this is all 30 miles an hour, then this, with this wide roads, and look at the beautiful scenery. This is really calming. It's going to have a calming effect on your driving test. This is going to be the one. Belvedere is the one. Why don't people come to Belvedere? And why do people say bad things about Belvedere?
After 300 yards, go right on the roundabout and take the third exit.
Maybe
then
lots of roundabouts?
Take the second left.
But they're all mini roundabouts, so that's not a problem. Is it really? Come on. Right on the roundabout, second left. Repeat the instruction to yourself so you know what you're doing.
Right on the roundabout and take the third exit. Then take the second left.
This is me trying really hard to drive perfectly. I'm going around the roundabout. Cut it a little bit with two wheels, but I made effort to go around it. And for me to make effort to drive really well, I need to talk it out. I need to reason it with myself. I need to say what I'm doing in advance, because that's going to help me.
After 200 yards, turn left.
It will definitely help you too. 300 yards, turn left. I know 300 yards is about 300 meters. Just imagine a yard is a meter. It's not exactly, but it's close enough, and we're not going to get a measuring stick out.
Turn left.
If you're not sure how to calculate meters either, think 100 meters is a Usain Bolt running track. and 400 meters is one whole way around an athletic stadium. So that's quite a long way. 400 meters or yards is quite a long way. 100 meters or yards, we're going to call them the same, is...
At the end of the road, turn right, then at the end of the road, turn left.
Turn right, then left. 100 meters or yards, you should now be thinking about the junction that you're about to take. If you're not, it's a bit late. So we've got 100 yards to go now, and I'm going to do mirrors and signal. Perfect timing
Turn
for this
right,
one.
Then at the end of the road, turn left.
Oh, dream! Really empty. Residential. This is where you want to go on your driving test.
Turn left, then at the end of the road, turn right.
I'm 10 minutes into this route and I'm advocating for Belvedere. Belvedere is the one. That was a really close junction
right, then at the end of the road, turn left.
And this one's probably going to be closed as well, so I'm going to slow right down. Look at those vans and cars blocking my view. Be cautious. I could have probably gone a little bit quicker, but I'm on a driving test, so I want to make sure I'm not going to get
Turn
any
left.
points for finishing faster. Mirror, signal, position and speed. Look, I'm looking to the right. Nice open junction. Not going to stop at that one. I want to show that I'm safe and careful, but I also want to show that I'm confident. It's a bit of a balancing act. So the way I say to my pupils is, imagine that you're late for work, but you're being followed by the police. So you want to get to your destination quickly, but also you don't want to do anything that's going to get you pulled over. Like driving super fast or breaking road rules. Careful, safe, conscientious driver. Are we stuck in traffic? Okay, Prob's gonna forward this. Okay, Erith, Bexley Heath, Bexley. Thank you. You don't need to say thanks on your driving
Right
test.
on the roundabout and take the third exit.
You don't need to. The examiner will or should say thanks to people for you. People that have helped you out, stopped for you, waited for you, like in that situation. Might have made another mistake there too. Let's go right there. And not shortcutting the roundabout. Oh man, I'm thinking about what I just did on that road. Not gonna make it easy for you guys. If you spotted it, put it in the comments. So what happens when you zone out for 2 seconds? If you zone out while you're on a driving test, you start thinking about something else. Did you see what I said? Bexley Heath, Erith. Obviously I'm not from around here, so the area is interesting. I'm taking in new scenery and stuff. So I noticed the road sign, and I was like, oh right, we're near Erith and Bexley Heath. I've been to that gym in Bexley Heath.
After 300 yards, cross the roundabout and take the third exit.
The gym in Bexley Heath's nice. But then I wasn't concentrating because I was thinking about the gym. Right, what's happening next? What's happening next? I'm still going to give myself a pass because I'm my examiner and I'm easily bribable. People sometimes ask, would you ever be an examiner, Francis? Or do you do driving tests as well? A, you can't do both. You can't do driving tests and driving lessons because you would pass your mates. If you had one of your driving instructor mates on a driving test, there'd be so much scope for corruption. B, I wouldn't be an examiner.
Cross the roundabout and take the third exit.
B, I wouldn't be an examiner full stop because I think it's kind of boring. Like, you just drive around the same 16 routes all day and you don't talk to people. Being an instructor is so cool because you can talk to people, you get to know them, you get to know their story, and you help people. It's so much fun. The chats that I have on driving lessons are the best. Being an examiner, I think, would take all of the fun, or what I consider the fun bit of teaching people how to drive, take it all out. And I'd be very corrupt. DVSA, if you're watching, never give me a job as an examiner. Driving's the best. If you haven't got a driving license, which you don't if you're watching this video, get one. So good, it's so much fun. Confused about the ridiculous amount of roundabouts in Belvedere, but that seems to be the only tricky thing so far. I'm planning well ahead so I can see zebra crossing, loads of shops. I'm going to slow my speed down just slightly so that I can take in the information coming at me more slowly. If something is coming at you, like a situation like this, and you haven't got the brain power to deal with it, you're going too fast. I can imagine this can get really busy if you're doing your test early morning or late afternoon. Great, so I'm going to speed up now because...
After 300 yards, go right on the roundabout and take the third exit. Then take the second left.
Another mini roundabout. Oh, this is a proper roundabout. Difference between mini roundabouts and proper roundabouts? On a proper roundabout, I'm going to signal to exit. Mirror, signal, position.
Go right on the roundabout and take the third exit. Then take the second left.
That lady is signalling, so I'm going to go 1, 2, check mirror, signal perfect timing, and leave. Easy roundabout though. If you're aware of Clifton's roundabout in Hear the Green, which is my favourite test centre so far.
After 200 yards, turn left, then turn left.
Then that test centre is difficult for the roundabout, but it's got the loveliest examiners, so...
Turn left, then turn left.
So I don't think the roundabout situation is going to take my love for Hear the Green away. Interesting. Let's go around very cautiously. Cheers, buddy. Very cautiously, because I'm on the wrong side of the road. And right, roadworks, that was interesting. Anything can come up on your driving test.
200 yards, turn left.
No problem. This is why the driving test is so unfair. Because if I'd have done my driving test maybe 8 o'clock this morning, they wouldn't have been there. That would have been so much easier. I could have done my driving test in half an hour's time and gone around them on the wrong side of the road, and then the car's coming down the other way at me. So unfair.
Turn left.
Is there any way to get more consistency in the driving test?
At the end of the road, turn right.
Other than doing it on a closed course like in America, which is just really easy? I don't think so. Mirror, signal.
Right.
Positioning, just in case someone's coming to the road, I'm going to position back to the left, and there's no one coming, so I'm going to go. Look at this road again. I can imagine this is somewhere to do a parallel park for sure. Checking my mirrors.
At the end of the road, turn right.
Every time I move in and out of these gaps, because a cyclist could be around me or a motorbike overtaking. Mirrors are your biggest safety feature, and mirrors are the biggest thing on your driving test, in my opinion. The driving test isn't difficult and you don't have to drive really well, but you just have to drive safely if you're checking your mirrors.
Turn right.
That's a big part of being safe. Oh, and it's clear. Off we go. Check, check, because I'm moving around a parked car. Lots of people don't consider parked cars as hazards. A hazard is something moving in front of you, right? Nope. Anything that you have to stop, slow, or swerve for. I have to swerve around those parked cars, which means they're a hazard, and I need to do something about it, like check my mirrors. Is that road called the Pantiles?
After 300 yards, go left on the roundabout and take the first exit.
Did you get it? Pant. No? Just me? Okay. And now I'm distracting myself. I'm distracting myself with crude, childish jokes. So, focus. Coming up to a roundabout. I think the biggest cause of
on the roundabout and take the first exit.
Failing a driving test has got to be for lack of concentration. I can't really say anything bad about Belvedere so far. This is beautiful. It's really quiet. Okay, it's what day is it today? It's a Friday lunchtime. It's Friday and it's at 1:30. But your driving test is going to be on a weekday during the day.
300 yards, turn right.
This is perfect. Why don't more people take their driving test at Belvedere? They probably do. Belvedere is probably as fully booked as everywhere else in London. If you've got your driving test coming up here, I said at the beginning of the video that this is a horrible test centre that is notorious for fails. I'm into it. I'm going to get in there before the cyclist. But notice what I did there on that junction. I moved into the centre of the road. I didn't just turn right from the left side of the road. because there was a box for me. Faded, but we've got to look out for these things. Things that you should be observing for on your driving test are road markings, road signs, and hazards. All right, I'm nearly at the end. Wow. All right, I'm a fan of Belvedere. Belvedere is the one. Along here, they're going to get you to pull up for sure. And there doesn't have to be a parking box. They will say to you, pull up on the left in a safe place. A safe place is just somewhere with no red lines, no yellow lines.
At the end of the road, turn left, then you have reached your destination.
And no drop curbs. Drop curb is like where the curb is lower for a driveway. Can't park along that. If you park along that in real life, you're going to get a ticket. So you will get a driver fault on your driving test for that. Left at the end of the road. Wow. If that was my driving test.
You have reached your destination.
If that was my driving test today, guys, would I have passed? That is the question. Obviously, we're making educational and informative content for you guys, but also, let's have fun with it.
After 200 yards, you have reached your destination.
Did I pass that driving test? Yes or no? And what mistakes did I make? I might have even made some that I didn't spot. I spotted two.
You
Only
have
two.
reached your destination.
And if I did any more, hit me up. Let me know in the comments. Everything was 30 miles an hour. There were no speed limit changes. I know there's a dual carriageway that goes a bit faster, so there's going to be a speed limit change for that, but it'll be super obvious because you're joining a dual carriageway. The whole thing was 30 miles an hour. Wow. Well, the sat nav's just finished. I think it's this way. Turn left at the end of the road, Francis. And I think I know where I am. Okay, so we're coming back to the driving test centre now. Obviously, Belvedere is not my area. So if this isn't the way to the driving test centre, we'll turn around and find it. But I think it is. Okay, yeah, so there's some schools. There's some schools around here. Day nursery, preschool. I think we passed 2 or 3 schools on the route as well. So busy times, 9 a.m, 8 to 9 a.m, 8 to 9:30, let's say, and maybe 2:30 to 3:30 would also be a really busy time to take your driving test in Belvedere. But apart from that, I can't see this being much of a challenge. If you basically know how to operate a car, you could have passed that, right? Anyone could have passed that. That was a really nice driving test route. Massive fan of Belvedere. Ah, I know where I am. She's not crossing. I know where I am. Okay, so to get back into the driving test centre, I guess we're going to turn left at the mini roundabout. Oh, no, that's a no entry. Okay, no, we're not. And we can't turn right here either. Okay, perhaps they'll just pull you up on the left here and give you your results, and then the examiner's going to walk back in, because this is free parking too. I love exploring new test centres. Belvedere is a great one. I'm a fan of Belvedere. I'm going to come back here for sure. I'm going to bring peoples here. I'm going to recommend Belvedere to people who are looking for a driving test centre. What did you guys think of Belvedere? Thumbs up, thumbs down, love, hate. I love it. It's a really nice place to take a driving test. Hope you guys enjoyed that too. And I'm stumped at why people say this is a bad test centre. If you know, put it in the comments, because from this video, it's on a par with West Wickham. It's that easy. That route was that easy. It's on a par with West Wickham. Maybe there's some really harder routes, but if you get this one, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, notification bell, share it with your mates, and I'll see you in the next video. Drive safe. Belvedere's banging. Jesus.